Welcome to this lecture on internal control components, risk assessment. In this session, we'll explore what risk assessment is, why it's a vital component of internal control, and how organizations use it to identify, analyze, and manage potential threats to their objectives. Risk assessment is the process of recognizing uncertainties that could prevent an organization from achieving its goals. It's not just about identifying what could go wrong. It's about understanding how likely those risks are to occur and how significant their impact could be. Without effective risk assessment, internal controls are like locks on the wrong doors. They may exist, but they don't protect what really matters. According to the COSO framework, risk assessment involves a dynamic and iterative process for identifying and analyzing risks, forming a basis for how risks should be managed. It helps organizations prioritize their efforts and allocate resources efficiently. There are 4 key principles within COSO's risk assessment component. The first is establishing clear objectives. You can't assess risk without knowing what success looks like. Objectives must be specific, measurable, and aligned with the organization's mission. For example, an objective might be to maintain accurate financial reporting or to ensure uninterrupted IT operations. Clear objectives provide the benchmark against which risks are evaluated. The second principle is identifying risks to the achievement of those objectives. Every organization faces internal and external risks, from operational breakdowns to economic downturns, cybersecurity breaches, or employee misconduct. Identifying these risks involves engaging stakeholders at all levels, reviewing historical data, and staying alert to emerging trends. The third principle is assessing the likelihood and impact of those risks. Not all risks are created equal. Some are low probability but high impact, like natural disasters or regulatory violations. Others may occur frequently but have minimal consequences. Organizations often use tools like risk matrices or heat maps to visualize and prioritize these risks. The fourth principle is responding to risk. Once a risk is identified and assessed, management must decide how to respond. Common strategies include avoiding the risk, reducing it through controls, transferring it through insurance or contracts, or accepting it when the cost of mitigation outweighs the benefit. The key is to make deliberate, informed decisions rather than reacting after the fact. A strong risk assessment process is not a one-time exercise. It's continuous. Business environments change constantly. New competitors enter the market, regulations evolve, technologies advance, and global events disrupt supply chains. Regularly updating the risk assessment ensures that controls remain relevant and effective. Let's take a practical example. Imagine a company that processes online payments. One of its key objectives is to maintain secure transactions. Risks might include hacking attempts, data breaches, or system downtime. Through risk assessment, the company evaluates the likelihood and potential damage of each risk. It might decide to reduce risk by implementing stronger cybersecurity controls, transfer some risk by purchasing cyber insurance, and accept minor risks like brief system maintenance downtime. This process ensures that resources are focused where they have the greatest impact. Another important aspect is the connection between risk assessment and the organization's overall strategy. Strategic objectives, such as entering a new market or launching a new product, inherently introduce new risks. Integrating risk assessment into strategic planning ensures that opportunities are pursued responsibly and that potential threats are managed proactively. Risk assessment also supports fraud prevention. By identifying where controls are weakest and where incentives might tempt unethical behavior, management can design systems that deter fraud before it occurs. This proactive mindset is what separates effective organizations from reactive ones. It's also essential to recognize that risk assessment is not about eliminating all risks. That's impossible. Instead, it's about achieving a balance, understanding which risks are worth taking and which must be controlled. As the COSO framework emphasizes, risk assessment provides reasonable, not absolute, assurance that objectives will be met. Communication plays a critical role here. Once risks are identified and assessed, they must be communicated clearly to those responsible for managing them. Risk reports, dashboards, and review meetings help ensure that decision-makers are always informed. In summary, risk assessment is the heartbeat of internal control. It ensures that organizations stay aware of what could go wrong, understand the magnitude of those risks, and take timely actions to manage them. The four core principles: setting objectives, identifying risks, analyzing their impact and likelihood, and responding effectively, provide a structured path to resilience. As you continue building your understanding of internal controls, remember this: controls are only as effective as the risks they're designed to mitigate. A well-conducted risk assessment doesn't just protect an organization, it empowers it to make smarter, more confident decisions. In our next lecture, we'll explore the next component, control activities, where we'll see how organizations translate their risk assessments into practical, day-to-day actions that safeguard performance and integrity. Thank you for joining me in this session on risk assessment.